I didn't know anything about the Dublin Fusiliers and the involvement of people, Dublin people, in the British Army at that stage. It was very much the rebels and the taking the GPO, and for me that was the culmination of any study that I knew about Irish history. I've been a student of history here in UCD, so 1916 is really interesting for historians, and I find that the more you read about it, the more interesting it becomes because of the complexity of the historical events. I did a master's in history here in UCD, and I studied the First World War in Dublin, and that was part of my thesis. So I saw how that impacted and how the rising impacted. I was looking at the Guinness Brewery, and I saw how that impacted on the city and how Guinness became involved in really helping the British administration in the city at the time, because they were a unionist company, so that was their loyalty. I'm also old enough, unfortunately, to remember the 1966 commemorations, and at that time I was 16, so it was very young, and I was learning a lot about the rebels. And the rebels at that stage, I think, were very much put on a pedestal. I remember in school taking part in a school project, a play of Patrick Pearse's, which was very inspiring, and I think we all got very much involved in the signatories, and at that stage it was a very big thing for us. I can remember standing in the streets and cheering and all of that and being dressed up, So there was a very different atmosphere in the city, really. I think it was unquestioning, and it didn't take account of the different loyalties in the city. I didn't know anything about the Dublin Fusiliers and the involvement of people, Dublin people, in the British Army at that stage. It was very much the rebels and the taking the GPO, and for me that was the culmination of any study that I knew about Irish history. So gladly in the last 50 years I've learned a little bit more, and I understand a little bit more about the complexity. So and I think an awful lot of more research is available now because of the witness statements and different sources, and I think the government is going, being very careful and cautious about including everybody because of what we've been through, and the troubles and all of that, and there are very good reasons for recognising everybody's part in the history of the country. I think there's lots of interesting stories being thrown up now about the rising, and I think that's really interesting.